Hi, Todd Bourne here in the Forecast Center with an update on what's going to be a dry week and maybe even a couple weeks ahead here for the ArkLaTex. So look at outside right now, and you can see early this afternoon temperatures have already climbed into the mid to upper 80s at most locations, and we likely will end up in the upper 80s to low 90s under a sunny sky. Weather pattern shows the upper level ridging covering the southern half of the country right now. We do have a little bit of a weakness here over West Texas, and you can see a little bit of a shower activity and a few thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. That likely will not pose a risk as far as making it into the ArkLaTex. In fact, Robin's Futurecast shows that tonight we will likely stay mostly clear, and temperatures will not be as cool tonight. Going through the day tomorrow, I expect a mix of lots of sunshine and a few clouds as once again we stay dry. We'll see the mostly clear sky tomorrow night. And on Saturday, looking at a mix of clouds and sunshine. Futurecast does show a small possibility for some rain over the southern edge of the ArkLaTex. But again, rainfall chances pretty much everywhere in the ArkLaTex looking very slim. And over most of the ArkLaTex, we will stay dry, and that'll be the case for Saturday evening as well. Longer range, it doesn't look like we'll see any significant chances of rain here for the next week to 2 weeks. You can see all that moisture in the Gulf of Mexico. It's actually going to get pushed to the south and east. Possibility we could see some tropical development in the Gulf. More on that in a second. You can see the troughiness here, which develops over the eastern half of the country. We have the ridge centered over the Rockies and Plains. This northwesterly flow is going to work to keep us dry. And we might see that ridge try to expand somewhat towards the east, warming us up late next week and next weekend. But pretty good batch of cooler air coming in during the middle part of next week, with highs in the 80s and lows in the 50s over most of the area. As far as the latest from the drop monitor, today is Thursday. A new version is issued every Thursday. This is last week's drop monitor. Let's move this ahead to this week's, and you can see the expansion of the level 1 drought over the southern sections of the region. Elsewhere, not a whole lot of change. We likely will see conditions intensify here in the next couple of weeks, as the blended model is showing that we will stay totally dry from now through next weekend. I mentioned the cool temperatures on the way for next week. Here's a look at the coolest temperatures that we've seen so far this month. You can see we have seen some upper 40s and lower 50s, middle 50s elsewhere. The low this morning unofficially in Shreveport, 61 at the airport. And we will likely see temperatures in the 40s and 50s next week. And most of these temperatures actually will change at these various locations. In the tropics, we still have a low chance, according to the National Hurricane Center, of seeing some tropical development. But some of the global models hinting that we at the very least could see a depression, maybe even a tropical storm form that would head towards Florida. And it still doesn't appear as if something develops, that it will play a role in the ArkLaTex. Further out in the Atlantic, we do have Leslie and Kirk, and neither one look to threaten the U.S., although we will have to watch Leslie a little bit more closely, as it will make a trek further to the west before getting pulled to the north and to the northeast. So a forecast for tonight here at home is looking mostly clear. We'll see temperatures fall into the 50s north and the low to middle 60s south. 64 tonight in Shreveport, 57 in Texarkana, 59 degrees in Marshall. Tomorrow temperatures will be rather hot, as we'll see highs at most locations in the low to middle 90s. 93 in Natchitoches, 94 in Shreveport, and 90 degrees for the daytime high in Texarkana. Your 10-day forecast shows that we will likely stay in the low 90s through Monday. Overnight lows will return to the upper 60s this weekend. Then that cooler air arrives for the middle part of next week, with highs retreating to the mid 80s. Overnight lows will dip into the mid to upper 50s, at least in Shreveport. Again, I would suspect we'll see some 40s in some of the outlying areas. We should see a little bit of warm up late next week. By next weekend, daytime highs once again flirt with 90 degrees. So again, dry weather continues. We will see a rather hot weekend across the ArkLaTex, with cooler temperatures on the way as we go through next week.